Welcome to Henderson Farms and Homestead. So as you can see right here, I have some bunched onions, some radishes, some spinach, and some lettuce. This beautiful flower right here is actually mullein. I've had a lot of people tell me when I posted it on social media that it's foxglove, but it is a mullein plant that I've planted. It's not the typical one you'll see at the railroad tracks. It's got the yellow flowers, the single stalk. I think this is called Southern Comfort mullein. So it's very great medicinal, for medicinal herbs, for respiratory ailments. Most everything is antimicrobial, antifungal, but respiratory is its #1 treatment. And then I have some horseradish that we planted last fall. We'll move that. We've got some more horseradish. It's really invasive, and so we're going to try to keep it all together. So we've got it out in another garden, and I'll move this out after harvest this year. And then I have some broccoli and kohlrabi and Brussels sprouts in this bed. The kale that's gone to seed, you can see that is actually from last fall's harvest. We've been still picking off of it a little bit. Then I have some lamb's ear that I just tucked in there. That's an herb as well. We've got cucumbers and peppers planted here. These knockout roses, you can see this one here and the one up above the gardens. Those were really on sale at Tractor Supply a couple years ago, and they're absolutely beautiful, and just added some color back here. But this garden is outside of my kitchen door, so I call it my cottage garden. I typically started with herbs, but we've added to it. So in this bed here, we've got some broccoli that's looking really good. I have some asparagus. I've talked about this before. I've let it go to seed this year. I do have a couple little stalks down there that look really pretty. But we've moved it, and so I'll let it seed out this year, and then we'll try to harvest it next year. And then I have some rhubarb on the end. In this little bed here, I have loofah. So loofah is a kind of a sponge, you'll see, but I use it in my soaps when you harvest it. It kind of looks like a cucumber or a gourd, and then it dries out, and it actually is like an exfoliant scrubber. I tried to start beets here, and the cats were wearing it out, so I've just stuck in some squash and zucchini in this bed here. And then carrots and some garlic. I need to thin out my carrots just a little bit, but that's what's in that bed. Over here is Jeff's pepper plants. So we've got habaneros of every color, chili peppers, jalapenos. So this will be full of hot peppers. And then this is my little herb garden. I don't have a whole lot in here yet because I'll take you to the greenhouse in a little while. Most of my flowers and herbs are just now coming up. I was a little late getting those out. Did a lot that was going on here at the farm. So I've got some dill that's just volunteer. I'll probably just leave it. I have some planted, but we'll use a lot of that for pickles and dilly beans. I have basil planted. There's garlic chives and then just regular garlic. So I will have this bed will be full when summer comes around, the heat of the summer. So when we come back around here, on my medicinal side, other than right here, first of all, I have some sage that's coming back. I also have comfrey and oregano and some thyme. I need to work on that thyme bed a little bit, but hopefully it'll come around. And then as we go back out to the greenhouse, or the small greenhouse, right here we have feverfew, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's to fight fever. And then can't even talk. Then we have wormwood and some more comfrey, marshmallow plant, and then over here I have echinacea, which usually goes out of control. It's about 6 feet tall, so it's really pretty. I have lavender here. I have some mints that I've pulled up all the mint I had in the gardens. I'm gonna try to leave it in pots because it just takes over everything. And then I have in this garden here, I have bee balm and motherwort and lemon balm, and it looks like poison ivy. Yes, I need to get my flower beds. I've just not had a chance. And it looks like I have some volunteer calendula. They'll come back up. I also have some of that planted. So we'll take a peek inside the greenhouse. Leftover tomato plants that we don't need. So I have plenty of tomato plants in here. We have some pepper plants. Down here I have cantaloupe and watermelon I need to set out in the garden ASAP. And then on this rack, this is all of my flowers and some specialty things, but I've got cilantro coming up, verbena, more feverfew, lemongrass, holy basil, St. John's wort. I've got lemon cukes, and I've got cucamelons coming up. So we have basil down here on the floor that we're going to put in the high tunnel with the big tomatoes, try to warn off the worms. Nasturtium, hibiscus, guys, you name it, it's all coming up. So in the back, I've got some ginger and some turmeric coming up. We're trying to get this cleaned out because ultimately this is my paste tomato greenhouse, and so along the edges and down the center row we will have Amish paste tomatoes and homestead tomatoes. So this is primarily what I use for my salsas, my tomato sauce, those type of things. So we'll head up toward the high tunnel. This is something we really started last year. I think we had the high tunnel, last year was the first year we planted in it. We got it the November before planting season. So this is going on 2 years. So we've redone this bed up here. I've got a raised bed full of regular potatoes. Sorry, Bo's talking to us. I have sweet potatoes, and then I have, we've got cabbage in these two beds here with my garlic, and it looks like the garlic's getting close to being ready to harvest. It's starting to turn brown on the bottoms. We have strawberries, and I didn't notice, but the boys noticed that we actually have a couple big red strawberries, so it won't be long. This is my iris and weed bed. The iris are beautiful, but it is full of weeds. Just too much to take care of. Over here we have cabbage and kale. The cabbage is finally coming to a head. More cabbage and kale. We have onions, and then horseradish in the very back. Up here where the horseradish is. So you can see the onions and then the horseradish. These are the green stalks that I was working on a couple videos back, replanting them. It looks like one of them's not made it, but they look really good, and they actually have little bitty strawberries on them. So adding some new fertilizer or some new soil and some fertilizer actually really got these guys to take off. So we planted tomatoes a couple weeks back, and so the tomatoes are coming in really well. They look good, and we've planted corn on the other side there. I was doing a garden video, but I see there's some movement out here in the goat area. So we've got a couple baby goats finding their mama. Nope, that's not their mama though. They're just out wandering. A couple, that's not hers, but they're out with her. She's not had her babies yet, but they're the cutest little things. What you doing, babies? What are they doing? What are you doing with the babies? Those aren't yours. Those are not yours, stinker. We're playing a game that who's your mama? Whether it's one goat to the next, or the bottle baby thinks that the dogs are its mom, so. Where you going? Hey, baby. So as we head along the lane, these are all elderberry bushes, and they are getting ready to bloom. They are so pretty. And so we have, there's a bloom right there. And then we have several all the way down the lane. We'll be in elderberry heaven this year. Here's one that's got a really cute little flower bloom on it, if you can see it. And then out here toward the rabbits, we have zucchini and summer squash, and it's coming right along. There is fruit on some of these. So there's a summer squash right there. So we'll have squash and zucchini shortly. There's a zucchini. And then we're back out at the rabbits, and I did spot some red raspberry bushes that we planted, so I'm gonna come out here and pick some red raspberry leaves to dry for medicinal purposes. So as we head toward the back of the house and the big garden, we have two huge apple trees along the driveway here. This one usually produces a whole lot of apples, so I told Jeff we're gonna have to get a bucket truck if it gets any bigger. And then down in the field, I don't know if you can see them or not, amongst the buttercups are the meat birds hanging out. So they're getting large. I posted receiving those, I guess, a month and a half or so ago. So they're getting around and about. So this is the garden that's not covered, and I've got cucumbers along the woven wire fence. We just let them grow up on the fence during the summer. So I've got both slicing cucumbers and pickling cucumbers along the fence. And then we have beans planted. We had to replant those. They didn't do very well. Hopefully they'll come up soon because we've had a lot of rain. And I have some extra broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, and cabbage up on the top. I'll plant my melons up there as well. Some zucchini and some squash up top. So as we come around the back, on the other side of the cottage garden, I have a few grapes here. They put it a little bit on. They're not, I've had them for several years and they've just not really done well. I don't know if it's the soil or what. Another apple tree that actually looks like it is loaded with apples. It may have just saved its own life because Jeff said if it didn't start producing something, we were going to find something else to put in its place. But it is got apples all over it. So hopefully it's not done very good the last couple years. And then we get up here to the blueberries, and it looks like we probably need to get them covered up, but they are putting on berries, and so we'll have plenty of blueberries. I got several blueberry bushes, and then I have blackberry bushes, and down on the far end we have some raspberry bushes as well. And then up in this little orchard area we have blueberry bushes, apple trees, a pear tree that was absolutely crazy loaded last year. I'm not sure what we'll do with this. We had raised beds up here. I just think from all the cedar trees and stuff, it was just so acidic and it just didn't do well. So we yanked everything up. Thinking about trying to plant some wildflowers in the bare areas for the bees maybe. Yeah, the pears. We're gonna have pears like crazy again this year too. So absolutely beautiful. And then that's water storage that we use to water the garden. So the funnel goes on top of it and we'll start collecting rainwater to water the garden. And then I've got my beehives up on the hill. So the tall one to the right I've had for several years. It's the only one that lasted through the winter last year. The other 2 hives were dead when I got in them. But I have ordered 3 bee packages. I have received 1. I've never ordered bee packages before, but they're on the far left. And the one I did rehome looks like it's doing really well. So I'm just waiting on the other 2 to come in. I think it'll be May 1st. I think they said they would ship. Ellie Mae, you're gonna get stung. Ellie, come here. You're gonna get stung, silly Willy. You're right in their path. So we're babysitting, and she's not figured out where she can and can't go. We appreciate you coming along for our tour, and hopefully I can get another video out very soon.